busy Week 10 of the Dream Season Football League. First matchup, Chicago at 7-1 against the 6-2 Niners. It would be the Pete Kugler show, as 4 sacks in the first quarter would be the first part of the Chicago troubles all day. Kugler getting in there 4 times in the first quarter. Montana would take advantage. It would be a Wilson there, touchdown there, and then later Montana throwing to Craig, who does the rest. 50 yards later, touchdown San Francisco. The final 40-17 in a blowout win against the Bears. Both these teams not really in the playoff hunt. Jaguars 1-7, Jets 2-6. Brunell back to throw, would get picked, and it'd be 14-0 Jets early on. But after a Jaguars comeback, it would be Walker who would make a big catch to win it for the Jaguars, 25-21. Saints and the Rams in an offensive shootout in St. Louis. First quarter would be a Breeze touchdown to make it 7-0, and then later on another touchdown, 14-0 Saints, but then a Mike Jones pick would change all that. The rest of the game was glitched, the final 44-26. Lions traveling to Minnesota to take on the 3-5 Vikings. And it would be all Vikings on the day, the final 26-21. Minnesota keeps their playoff hopes alive. Falcons at 4-4, very much in the playoffs, while the Panthers at 1-7 are not. But in the first quarter, the Falcons would make a huge lead. It would be 17-0 at halftime, but then D'Angelo Williams in the third quarter breaking several tackles, going all the way 53 yards for a touchdown. And then in the fourth quarter, Delhomme end zone touchdown. But the Falcons still up by 3. They can win the game if they run out the clock, but Anderson fumbles the football, and then the Panthers will score in from there to take the lead. And then on the very next play, they hand off again, and he will fumble the football again, giving it back to the Panthers, and they'll run it off from there. The final 24-17. Bills-Titans in a huge conference showdown in Tennessee. First quarter, it would be the Bills that would dominate 17-0, and then later it would be a huge touchdown to Metzlars. After yet another Kelly touchdown, it would be a 38-7 blowout win for Buffalo over Tennessee in their house. Both teams are 6-3. Bengals-Steelers, both teams need this game to stay afloat in the AFC North, but it would be a Pittsburgh domination after a 7-0 score. Franco Harris 30 yards for the touchdown to tie it up at 7, and then a Theo Bell touchdown to make it 21-0. The Steelers would eventually win. AFC West between the Chiefs and the Raiders, but it would be all Oakland in this matchup. Back to throw, Stabler would throw to the end zone to Casper with his first of 3 touchdowns on the day. Dawson would struggle on the afternoon. Willie Brown with the pick 6 to make it 24-0 in the third quarter. And then Casper with another touchdown. Final 44-0 Raiders over the struggling 1-8 Chiefs. NFC West rivalry, the Seahawks and the Cardinals. First possible game of the week. Vote on Facebook to see who wins. First quarter, it would be a fumble by Anquan Bolden, and it would be returned by Dyson all the way for the touchdown. 10-0 early. Seahawks over the Cardinals. But then it would be Kurt Warner who would respond. It would be Bolden with 2 straight receptions. This one to get into the end zone to make it a 10-7 game late in the second quarter. But the Seahawks would respond. It would be Hasselbeck throwing on a key drive. Joe Jurevicius there for the first. And then on 3rd and 3, Hasselbeck throwing to Stevens to get to the 17. And then at the 6-yard line, Hasselbeck throwing to the end zone. And it would be a touchdown to Owens to make it 17-7 in Arizona. But that was when in the fourth quarter, the Cardinals would respond. Anquan Bolden, the second touchdown of the day. But the Seahawks, another touchdown, 24-14. Cardinals need to reply here. Back to throw, it would be incomplete, but a flag on the play, and it would be pass interference by the defense, keeping the drive alive. And then Warner back to throw, would throw to Anquan Bolden, who would get a first. And then from the 16-yard line, a 3rd touchdown to Anquan Bolden. Then the Cards get it back with 30 seconds to go. Back to throw, and it would be a 4th and 6. Can the Cardinals convert? Larry Fitzgerald on the sideline, and he was battling. Can he get there? They say yes, he did get there, and that was a huge first down. Now the Cardinals need to respond. It would be Preston getting to the 27-yard line. Can the Cardinals get there in time? 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, and they get it off. So now can the Cardinals get to the end zone? Looking, and Bolden would be 10 yards short of the touchdown. Final 27-21. Denver traveling to Washington to take on the 6-2 Redskins, but it would be all Broncos early in the first half. It would be Nash to take the lead 17-14 as time expires, but that would be when Washington will respond. Joe Theismann hitting Garrett for the early touchdown in the fourth, but the Broncos still had the 3-point lead, and they would run it out from there. Terrell Davis with a key first down to get the Broncos to 5-4 in the season, while the Redskins are at 6-3. Buccaneers 4-4, Dolphins 6-2, but it would be all Buccaneers in Miami Stadium. Johnson back to throw, would hit Carl Williams for a huge 73-yard touchdown to make it 10-0. And then 16-0, the Dolphins finally get their first touchdown of the day, but late in the fourth quarter, it would be way too late. They would have one final shot, but would not get it. Final 22-6. 4-4 Cowboys against the 6-2 Green Bay Packers in the big Week 10 matchup. Aikman to the end zone to make it 7-3, but then Favre back to throw would be picked off by Brown, and he would take it the distance 14-3 in Lambeau. A late touchdown by Favre would make it 10-14, but way too late. Dallas 5-4. Eagles, Chargers, and what had the makings of an offensive shootout in San Diego, and that was exactly what would happen. Fouts back to throw to the end zone to make it 14-7, and then after another touchdown, 21-7, but that would be when the Eagles respond, tying it up at 21. But McNabb in the third quarter with a huge mistake, picked off by Williams, and he'd take it the distance. The final 31-21 Chargers, 5-4. Second and final option of the game of the week. Both teams 4-4 on the season as they go to Indianapolis to face off. First play for Brady would be a huge 80-yard touchdown to Wes Welker to make it 7-3 in the first. But after that, it would be all Colts as they would keep the Patriots out of the end zone and scored 14 straight points to make it 17-7 at halftime. Then in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots down by 10, it would be Gaffney with a huge touchdown to make it 21-24. On the ensuing Colts drive, 3rd and 3, he would get stuffed, giving the ball back to the Patriots. But on 3rd and 5, it would be Brady unable to convert as he would get picked off by Kelvin Hayden, who would take it all the way into Patriots territory. Now the Colts, they need to run out the clock to win this game, but Donald Brown cannot, giving the ball back to Patriots. And on the very next play, Brady throwing to Randy Moss, who tries to get extra yards and fumbles the ball. Second straight turnover by the Patriots, and Patrick Wheeler taking it all the way to the 20. After a 3-and-out, the Patriots have one last chance, down by 6, 5 seconds to go. Brady looking, throwing to the end zone, a beat bomb, and it is caught. Oh my goodness, Jabbar Gaffney with a touchdown, and with the extra point, the Patriots can win this game. The kick is good by Steven Gostowski, and the Patriots complete the 10-point comeback, final 28-27. Alright, now the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns in a huge AFC North rivalry. 6-3 at halftime for the Browns, but then it would be all them from there. Longhorn to the end zone for the touchdown to make it 13-3. And then in the fourth quarter with 13 seconds to go, it would be a pick 6 by Dyson to seal it. Final 20-3 Browns. Week 10 standings in the DSFL season. One big, interesting, intriguing AFC stat is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are still below 500 in the AFC, while the Oakland Raiders are 7-2. Denver Broncos Chargers are both 5-4. And going over to the NFC, St. Louis leading at 8-1, the San Fran 49ers at 7-2, along with Chicago at 7-2. The Green Bay Packers are at 6-3, yet hold only the 6th seed in the playoffs. The NFC West is the most winningest division so far in Week 10. But plenty of things can happen, so let's not get too excited. See you next time. Thank you for watching this presentation of the Dream Season Football League. Tune in Sunday for next week's edition of the Dream Season Football League.